Hey guys, welcome back to Bobcat Corner Live. This is the day after Wednesday night, the game that took place on Wednesday night action between the Ohio Bobcats, the visiting team, going up to Toledo, the Glass Bowl, to take on the Toledo Rockets. And as someone who watched that game last night, I got to tell you, that was quite the game in more ways than one. As I say in the description box below, it was a tale of two halves. Early on, this was a game that I'm just going to be honest with you guys, it was not pretty at all to see. It was honestly, it was pretty hard to watch at times in the first half. And because I'm just going to get right into it with the review of this game. Yeah, the first half of this game between the Bobcats and the Rockets, it was pretty rough to watch. Even though I have to admit both teams were kind of shaky on offense to start, it felt like, oh, hey, finally got somebody, that college football guy, Bill. How's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, just talking about the game last night. To start, it was just, like I said, hard to watch. And although both teams were having trouble executing on offense in the first half, it felt more like a Toledo Rockets kind of game. And for that alone, I felt like, okay, this might be one of those kinds of games where it really started to remind me of the games that we had earlier in the season against Kentucky and Miami, Ohio. I was like, oh, crap, not that kind of game. And I was like, here we go. At least that's what I thought at first. But as you guys would see, if you watched the game last night, the more it went along, it felt more like we were just business as usual. And that was just really a big relief for me to see. I was like, yeah, normally when the Bobcats get down after the first half, they don't respond well. But this was quite the difference. I'm glad about that. So, yeah, anyway, let's just get on with the game. No scoring in the first quarter. Again, both teams were having trouble executing on offense. So let's just get past that. Starting in the second quarter, 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Tucker Gleason, quarterback for the Rockets, he hooked up with a 23-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Torres, the tight end. Now, if you guys recall in Bobcat Corner episode 31, the regular Bobcat Corner, I was talking about key points that the Bobcats had to address, at least in my opinion, that they had to address in order to take down the Rockets. I mentioned at length Jerwan Newton and Junior Vanderross III, wide receivers. I knew they were going to be big threats in the passing game for Toledo. And I briefly mentioned Anthony Torres, the tight end, but probably should give him more credit because he was more present in this game, as you see. So 7-0 Toledo early on in the second quarter. And again, it felt like a Toledo Rockets kind of game early because on offense for the Bobcats, we were getting nothing going. It felt like a kind of slow to build kind of crappy approach. Sorry for being blunt, but kind of a crappy approach to the game. At least that's how I felt early on. It was like, man, this is like pulling teeth watching. I'm sorry. It was just, that's how it felt in the first half. But yeah, Toledo took a 7-0 lead in the second quarter. And then 8 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bobcats, they faced the 4th and 7, typical punt situation, right? You punt the football back. But no, there was a fake punt. That was like the first instance of play calling for the Bobcats. So I was like, okay, we're not just going to lay down here. Okay, fake punt, a call. That was cool. Tight end, Mason Williams for the Bobcats. He gets a first down off that trick play. Fake punt. Okay, cool. That's to start things off because I think Tim Albin and the coaching staff knew that they had to get something going. They had to generate some sort of buzz on the Bobcat sideline. That's probably why they did that. So, yeah, even though that did not amount to anything in the second quarter, but still, I like the idea of that. So, yeah, 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go. This is something, again, not so good for the Bobcats. Parker Navarro, sometimes I've gotten on his case, sometimes not, but here in the first half, Parker Navarro, he was not feeling it at all in the passing game. I'm being honest with you guys. Parker Navarro, he was really off in the passing game. as a pocket passer. He threw an interception 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go to Maxon Hook. Like I said, I mentioned him at Bobcat Corner 31. Maxon Hook, one of those ball hawks in the secondary for Toledo. He picked off the pass. I was like, crap, don't do that. It's just, but thankfully, Toledo did not capitalize on that. So just 7-0 still going into halftime. So I'm like, okay, even though we're playing like crap, to start, we're not out of it. Obviously, we're just down 1 touchdown. Okay. Hopefully, we'll regroup, we'll respond well. And guess what? We did. We responded well. So, yeah, let's see here. Going through my notes real fast. Give me a minute, guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, excuse me. Pardon me. Third quarter. I get my notes so bunched up. Forgive me. Third quarter, that's when Parker Navarro threw the interception 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. You could tell how alert I was last night. That's when he threw the interception to Maxon Hook. But yeah, first half, especially Parker Navarro, he was not doing well passing the ball. All game, he was not doing all that great. I'll get into the stats later on here. But yeah, fast forward 10 minutes to go, third quarter. DJ Walker for the Bobcats. He stripped the football away from a Toledo wide receiver and fumble recovery for the Bobcats. That was good. And really, as you guys saw in the third quarter of the game last night, momentum just started to shift back to the Bobcats. It was just wonderful to see how Ohio responded in the second half. Because, again, normally this season we do not do well when we're down after halftime. But this was a good change. So, yeah, 8 minutes, 6 seconds to go. Anthony Tyus, the third, I can't say enough good things about him as a running back. I mean, he's like built like a tank. He broke out a 34-yard run. It was a critical 3rd down and 5 situation at that time. He busts out a 34-yard run, get us into the red zone. That was huge. And finally, 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Parker Navarro punches it in for a 1-yard touchdown run. It's a quarterback draw, run situation. Ties the game at 7 apiece. Okay, cool. And then after that, there was another turnover. Toledo was having problems. Toledo really shot themselves in the foot, if you ask me, throughout this game. I mean, the Bobcats did make some mistakes, but Toledo even more so. And I was kind of surprised by that. Toledo, forced, they had a turnover. It was a fumble recovery. Junior Vandeross, the third, I think it was like a running play. And I think it was a running play. Junior Vandeross, the third, another target, wide receiver target for Toledo. He was running the ball 5 minutes, 46 seconds to go, and he fumbles it. Again, the Bobcats defense, opportunistic. They stripped the football away from him, and it's recorded as Adonis Williams recovering the fumble, although commentators on ESPN said it was Roman Perotti. Well, whoever it was. But yeah, Bobcats get the ball back. We were opportunistic on defense. I loved how the Bobcats played on defense last night. I just loved it. It was just, we had to respond that way, knowing our offense was kind of down like that last night. Our offense was not feeling it, but our defense was definitely awake. So that was good. And one thing I do have to know, one thing I have to mention here, though, with 1 minute to go in the third quarter, there was a controversial call made by the referees, and I saw it clear as day. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys saw it clear as day if you watched the game. 1 minute to go in the third quarter, Parker Navarro had one of his good runs to get a first down deep in Toledo territory. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I mean, yes, I'm a Bobcats fan, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I truly believe he fumbled the football. There we go. Toledo fans, if you're watching this, hey, I admit it. I believe he fumbled the football after getting that first down. It looked like he was stripped of the football before his knee was down, but the referees did not call it that way for whatever reason. The referees made the call that, because of forward progress, Parker Navarro was ruled down. I'm like, okay, we got away with that one. I'm just going to flat out admit it. We got away with that call. Probably should not have, but that's how it happens. Sometimes the referees make blatantly stupid calls like that. I'm just going to be honest with you. We got away with one, okay. But then again, we've had plenty of calls that went against us throughout the season. So it is what it is. But yeah, thankfully, that was one of the turning points there when the referees did not rule the fumble and they allowed us to keep the football. That was key. That was definitely key right there. We were allowed to keep momentum that way in a roundabout sort of thing. Fourth quarter, let's get to it. Fourth quarter, 14 minutes, 19 seconds to go. It was a key. This was another key play here. And I was shocked that the Bobcats actually did this because I was like, okay, we're driving down, deep in Toledo territory. And I'm like, okay, 4th and goal. You should probably just kick the field goal, get points. It's back and forth kind of game. Don't try to do anything stupid. Just get points. That's how I was thinking. But then again, I'm not on that sideline. So the Bobcats decided to go for it on 4th and goal. And I was like, really? You guys are going to do this? What if you guys get stopped? Toledo gets the ball back deep in their own territory still, but they get the ball back. So you want to run that risk? But the Bobcats took the risk, and it paid off. Parker Navarro punched in, 2-yard touchdown run, 14-7 Bobcats. And from that point on, the game just really shifted towards the Bobcats. And I was surprised, pleasantly surprised by that. And yeah, we get to 9 minutes, 17 seconds to go. A huge 45-yard run by Parker Navarro on another drive. I don't know how he stayed in bounds. When you see that one play, it was a 3rd and 6 situation. We needed to get the first down. Parker Navarro, he got the first down. He could have went out of bounds, but he stayed in bounds, and he broke out from even more yards. So I was like, yeah, that's the kind of mentality that I've been looking for. That's the kind of attitude I need to see from a Bobcats team. And we started to show it. Second half, we definitely showed it. We definitely showed that kind of toughness that I've been looking for in a Bobcats team throughout this year. Started showing it the second half for sure. We just put our foot down. I loved it. So Parker Navarro got us into range again in the red zone. I'll check out my notes. And then 8 minutes, 7 seconds to go. Anthony Tice III, he punches it in for a 1-yard touchdown run. That makes it 21-7 Bobcats. And at that point, I was like, wow, we're actually going to get this. We're going to get this. Because the first half, I was having a lot of doubts. I'm being honest. First half, we played like crap in the first half. I'm being honest. But second half, we played wonderful. We were amazing in the second half. And that's the kind of turnaround that you need as a football team if you're going to get these kinds of games. This was such an important game for the Bobcats as far as the MAC standings go, which I'll get into in a minute. But anyway, in the game, a 24-yard field goal kicked by Gianni Spetic. That was with 3.5 minutes to go in the game. That made it 24-7 Bobcats. And guess what? That's the final score. 24-7 Ohio Bobcats defeat the Toledo Rockets in the Glass Bowl in Toledo. First time in years that the Bobcats did that. Leading up to this game, I was hearing a lot about, the Bobcats can't go up to Toledo and beat the Rockets in their house. It's been many years since they did that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's history, but that doesn't have to be this year. And I'm hoping the Bobcats this year think that way. It's like, okay, we're going to Toledo, so what? And I mentioned that in that graphic on Bobcat Corner 31. Looking at it right now, we're visiting Toledo, but so what? The atmosphere. And it's another topic that I'm hinting at, talking about in more depth. Midweek action. Northern Illinois fans have been talking about it a lot. And I've seen it again into Toledo. Midweek action. I'm being honest with you guys. I really have my doubts that this thing's going to work. The attendance rates are not good. The stands are not filled at all with action. Toledo fans did not show up all that much. Wednesday night again. There's probably something to that with what Northern Illinois fans are saying. but I'm going to get into that another time. But yeah, it was like, the atmosphere was like anything but an intimidating atmosphere in a Wednesday night situation. So, and yeah, 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Fumble recovery by Roman Parodi. That sealed it for the Bobcats. That was it. That sealed the deal right there. And I could finally exhale. Sigh of relief. So, yeah, let me get through the stats in general here. The player stats that are of note. Parker Navarro, he had an off day passing wise, no doubt, but running he was just fine. Uh, Parker Navarro, 11 of 19 completions for 129 yards, and he threw one pick, one interception. And on the ground, he had 18 rushing attempts for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. So obviously he did better, in the running game. Yep, yep. Oh, I agree with that. College football guy, I agree with that. Overall, Bobcats played a good game because of how great they responded. Second half was amazing, and that's how I have to play. Just state the truth there. Yep. Yeah, we played an incredible game overall. It's just that the first half I was kind of really doubting it, but yeah, second half great, wonderful, and also back to stats. Anthony Tyson third, great game rushing in my opinion. 33 rushes for 125 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground. And also, I want to note another Bobcats player, wide receiver Caleb Gossett. He was one of those guys that hasn't been mentioned all that much throughout the regular season. He's just been there. And normally I talk about the other wide receivers or tight ends, but Caleb Gossett, he was like the only wide receiver that really showed up for the Bobcats as far as the stats go. So Caleb Gossett, he had 6 receptions for 86 yards. He made some key plays, Gossett. I have to give him credit. Number 88. So, yeah, it was good to see players like that being able to shine for once. So that was good. So, yeah, leading up to this game, I circled this game between Ohio and Toledo. It's like, we have got to get this game. I initially, before the season started, I initially uh, penciled this game in as a loss for the Bobcats. I was like, yeah, Toledo is like 1-1A with Miami leading the MAC. That's what I said before the season started. So I knew how important this game was going to be. I knew how talented Toledo was going to be. Jason Candle, he knows how to coach. For Toledo, he knows how to coach, no doubt. But Toledo just didn't show up for some reason. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. They kept drawing stupid penalties. Toledo, I mean, we did too, but Toledo more so, it seemed. And Tucker Gleason, the quarterback, he just lost his composure at times. Tucker Gleason was kind of animated. I noticed that in the game. It's like, just calm down, dude. I mean, I know you're having an off night, but just calm down. But yeah, is it possible that Toledo perhaps took Ohio lightly? Well, I'm not sure if that was the case, Bill. I just think there's a huge lack of focus. I mean, for both teams at times, but definitely Toledo. It seems like they were not with it. And I don't understand why, because Toledo has something to play for here. They could have played themselves back into the MAC championship picture, but Toledo acted like, we don't really want it. That's just probably a mentality thing, if I had to guess. So, but no matter, because the Bobcats had the much better mentality, obviously. So, yeah, the first half was just slow. It was really slow. It was like watching paint dry sometimes. Second half, we picked it up greatly. We responded so well second half. Have nothing but good things to say about the second half. We responded the best way that we could. We got the 24-7 victory. We're 8-3. The Bobcats are now 8-3 overall, 6-1 in MAC conference play, and we really have the inside track now to the MAC championship game in Detroit. Overall, big picture, guys, if you just look at it, I want to go to Detroit. I want to see this team go to Detroit so badly now. It's like I didn't have that kind of expectation going into the season. I was like, okay, maybe Ohio, they're kind of rebuilding this year because they lost guys like Curtis Rourke. They lost a lot of talent from last year. But to see how this team, these players on this year's squad have responded to all these challenges, it's amazing. It's very interesting to see. I'm I'm happy. Honestly, I'm in a happy spot right now as a Bobcats fan, and I'm very optimistic. The only game that we have left in the regular season, the Bobcats, um, is going to be next. What is it? Next Friday, next Saturday. Let me check the schedule real fast here. Give me 1 minute, guys. I just got to check something. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I know who we're playing. Yeah, next Friday. Next Friday, eh, it's going to be the Bobcats. It's afternoon, I think. Next Friday against the Ball State Cardinals. And Ball State, they just fired their head coach, Mike New. They just fired their head coach. So I don't expect a letdown kind of thing happening there. We're in Athens, Ohio. We're back at home for that game next Friday. I'm absolutely confident that we can and we should beat Ball State to go to 9-3, finish the regular season on a strong note. And a question by Bill, college football guy. Who do you think Ohio will face in the championship game? I'm going to be honest with you, Bill. I have this really odd feeling it's going to be Miami, Ohio. And I don't like saying that because I remember vividly a few weeks ago when we played Miami of Ohio, the Miami Redhawks a few weeks ago, we were flat. We did not have the right mentality in Oxford, Ohio when we played at their place a few weeks ago. Miami Redhawks, they just outclassed us in that game. They just picked us apart. It was 30-20. It wasn't like a terrible loss. It wasn't like a blowout loss, but it didn't feel like a close 10-point game. Let me just put it that way. It was like we did not have the right mentality there against Miami then. And I'm hoping that if we have to face Miami again up in Detroit for the MAC title, we better have a different mentality. We better have a different strategy and approach playing the Redhawks because they already know what they're going to do. They already seen what we can do, and they already know it. Miami, Ohio, they're the defending MAC champions. They know how to do this. And I'm kind of hoping that's Bowling Green, to be honest with you. I know trying to avoid that, but if I had to guess, I want to face the Bowling Green Falcons for the MAC championship instead. If you want me to be honest with you, but if we have to go through the Redhawks again, so be it. Battle of the Bricks, fine. Let's just do it. But yeah, overall, summarize this game here between Ohio and Toledo. Very wonderfully impressed by how we responded, how we started, and I'm hoping that we could start better going forward in games. But how we responded as the game went along, I'm very impressed. I'm very pleased, very happy, and we know what we're going to do. We have an identity on offense. We're a running first, pass later kind of team. Our defense looks good. Our defense seems to be getting better as this season goes along. And you know that saying in football, defense wins championships. I mean, how can you argue with that? I mean, Ohio has a great defense right now. And so if we have a strong defense going into Detroit for the MAC championship, I don't see why we can't do it. Long overdue. Last time that Ohio University won that MAC championship was 1968. I think we're way past overdue to get it. So yeah, happy about this game. Close it out next Friday against Ball State at home, on our home field, Frank Stolage Field, Athens, Ohio. Just great, just great. But yeah, finally getting somebody chatting here. That college football guy, Bill. Thank you so much, Bill, for joining me to just chat along. Hopefully, I can get other people, to other college football fans, to come on in and just chat along with me. I really appreciate the support I get. I just want to set aside some time there for this. I really appreciate the support you guys give me. It really motivates me to keep going. Whether it's talking about the Ohio Bobcats or college football in general, I really do. I really do appreciate it. I've had really humble beginnings for this YouTube channel, and I have more of a direction now of where I want to take this channel. and this is definitely part of it. Bobcats football, this is definitely part of it. And so, yeah, and one more thing before I do go, before I sign off here, tiebreaker situations. Like I said, um, I mentioned this. I mentioned this earlier, but tiebreaker situations. It's really down to 3 teams for the MAC championship. I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bulls are out of it. It's just between the Bobcats, Miami Redhawks, and the Bowling Green Falcons. It's really that simple. Bowling Green and Miami are going to play each other next week to determine a spot for the MAC championship. And as long as the Bobcats take care of business against Ball State, which I really believe they will, I'll be shocked if they don't. It's going to be Bobcats versus either Redhawks or Falcons. That's what it's looking like. So, yeah, I can't argue with that, right? But yeah, this is Bobcat Corner Live. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me. Once again, that college football guy, Bill, thank you for joining me in the chat. And yeah, just looking forward to this. I have more than enough reasons to think that this is going to end well for the Bobcats this year. So, yeah, I'll be coming back here for more. Let's see, one more chat here. Yep. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, give this a like as well, guys. If you like this video, please give this a like. Share this content with other people, other college football fans. If you like what you see here on STV Castle, my channel, please subscribe, click the notification bell, do all that. And yeah, I'll be coming back for more content on college football. Bobcat Corner, another episode is going to come soon. When exactly, I don't know, but soon it's going to come. So yeah, this is Stephen Vitt. Thank you guys so much for supporting me this year. Go Bobcats. Take care. Bye.